I definitely would like to come back, and I have definitely been inspired to strongly consider community living. Definitely.
Do you think this will be the right kind of community for you?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I have just had the odd moment where I just think you can really ask for much more. I think there's something about this place I rather like. I can't really even put my finger on it. Whether it's more the people or the place or the building or the walks, or I don't know, but there's something I rather like about it. I think it's something to do with simplicity. If you were here in the community for a longer period of time, the type of people who are here, they do come across as very genuine people, and the conversations, I agree, tend to be quite sort of open, and people don't seem to think anything different of, you know, having a cup of tea and then maybe just talking about a big loss in their life and talking very open and frankly about that, if it seems relevant to the conversation you're having. So I've never felt put upon by anyone, but I have actually also felt that there is a support there. If you want to talk about something with someone, you can do that. So yeah, I think that's definitely part of the sort of supportive nature of the community here.
Last year, we had my teacher from Japan coming over, and I was looking around for where could we have an event with him, where would be suitable, and I was surprised there aren't very many places, and some of them where it's very much more almost they give you the key and in you go, and they leave you to it, and others where like a husband and wife team or a family team who are offering something, but an actual ongoing viable spiritual community hosting things. I think that's pretty unusual. Pretty unusual. I don't know, I suppose a lot of these places are terribly expensive. I mean, Lord knows how much it costs to keep the roof on here, But and it's at some places you really get the feeling that they're all about maximising the profit and so on. And I mean, understandably, but that's something you never get at Gaunts. It's much more about, is this right to do? Does this sit right? There's a heart sense of what that's guiding things here, and that's very discernible. Certainly, I don't think there's anywhere else like Gaunts, really. It's unique.
I don't think it's even that they're interesting people. I think it's that you have time to listen. Everywhere's full of interesting people, but you don't have time to listen to them. We might not connect or meet or cross over in our everyday lives outside, so we wouldn't have time to share stories. I had that recently on a Tuesday night. I was exhausted after a busy day at work, and it's the community night. And a few people said the same. They really could have just gone to bed and wallowed and not gone. And we all made the effort and went, and we were all at the end oh, thank God we did that. Felt so much better. And all the fears and anxieties, by talking to people, things cropped up, and we're like, oh, that's not so bad. Well, that's not so scary. By the end of the night, it's not that bad anymore. It kind of just made me, it was the last thing that kind of made me sit up and go, hang on a minute, maybe this is the answer. And then it was not my conscious decision at all, then it was just thoughts that just were taking over my mind and keeping me awake and led me. That's obviously what I feel this place is all about. There's no fear of learning about other beliefs and other rituals or other ideologies, religions. It's open learning with no fear of, if I do that then I might lose that, or I might I'll go away from here finding it a lot easier to forgive, actually.
Beautiful. And there's very clear sense that you're each individually on your spiritual journeys and
Yeah.
the unfolding that's involved. But you've also got this community quality within it as well.
Yeah.
That's very unusual, isn't it? That
Yeah.
you've got the space to do what's right for you on your individual journey, but also this community system. The meals are sort of regular, there's enough to eat, because it's amazing, somebody's, doing this stuff 2 weeks very focused, the food becomes terribly important, it's like, it's one of those sort of real sort of anchor points within it all. So, the food and the sense of an environment in which, there's care and attention paid to things, that's very, very important. And an environment in which there's a kind of how can I say, a sort of an ethos, if you like, in which this work is accepted as normal. That's tremendously helpful, because by the nature of this process, individually they're stepping into new areas, and so that feels a little bit strange for them because it's new. So the fact that they're in a place in which that's the norm, that you this, if you like, this spiritual adventure is what this place is about, really helps that, I think, really helps that process.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know what to make of me, 'cause I'm a bit of a whirlwind when I get going, but there was a method in the madness, and a lot of short night's sleep and plenty of chores to do. But if I'm going to engage in this next year, it'll be a lot less of a one-man band approach. I'll be able to draw on the help, offer of help from a lot of other people. But yes, definitely. It's instead of like, oh, that's it, you've had your little dose of spirituality, get back to the smog, and a couple of weeks later you're back in the rat race. This time round it feels like there's a life-changing opportunity or enriching, and one can embrace this not just as a token retreat scenario, but as life. It's all of you that have really helped, because without any of you I wouldn't have been able to cope. For one, it wouldn't have mattered in fact whether it was a beautiful setting or not. Ultimately, the community at Gaunts House I am eternally grateful to, and most look forward to spending more time here in the future, in spite of perhaps planning next year's shebang. I can't wait to get back. Really. My suffering is my pain is my comfort. It's been absolutely marvellous. Every day got better and better, harder and harder. Since the birth of my child, and he's 12 years old, I haven't had a more profoundly brilliant and challenging time in my entire life. It's been absolutely amazing, fantastic.
The most rewarding thing I could imagine doing is being around human beings coming into flower. I mean, to me that's time well spent. I can't think of a better way to spend a life. That what a privilege, what an honour really to be a little bit involved in that process. I couldn't top it really. Not that I've become aware of. So I feel so privileged.
It'll be sad to leave, I think. I'll be, it's funny, I've had the difficult moments have been really difficult for me here, and I thought, can I do a week sort of thing, is it a bit too much to myself here? And then peaceful moments, which has been a lot as well, I've just thought, I could stay here for forever. And it's just trying to, I suppose, as you say, understand what supports you in the difficult times, so you can be with those in a more stable way, and hopefully that will reduce over time and have more peaceful moments. Easier said than done, I know, but it is a really peaceful place here.